Welcome to the monsoon season in Arizona, where this is wet, and this is wet, and wet, wet, wet. Was this dried in a rainforest?
It's moist.
It's moist. Hello everyone, welcome to the Pop Culture Cult. I'm Sean.
I'm Janice.
And this is our weekly vlog about everything in the movie, TV, con, geek world that we find interesting. We don't cover everything because, well, we're only two people and we have regular jobs. So we try to hit the highlights, or at least highlights for us. Sure? Okay. So, we got a whole bunch of stuff. We are going to talk about some of the stuff for San Diego Comic-Con, which is in, there's math, 10 days, and we are not going. However, I am in communication with people who will be, and they will be taking photos and videos for us. Aren't you, Joe? She's not going to be happy with me. So we want to actually start off on a sad note. Now, normally we don't talk about sad stuff, but, you know, when it's somebody important, when Carrie Fisher passed away and Adam West, we talked about that, but we don't normally talk about spouses of famous people. Is this bugging you?
Yeah, it's tag.
But Stan Lee's wife, Joan Lee, passed away last Thursday. And the only reason she's kind of an important figure in the comic book world because she was the one who went to Stan and said, I know you want to quit your job, and it was getting really bad for Marvel there for a little while. And she said, write one good last comic before you leave. And that last comic was Fantastic Four, which brought Marvel back and kept him with the company, and it's been bumpy, but all roads forward since then. And she passed away of a stroke. She was 93. Stan's 94. They had been together. They had been married for 69 years. I'm pretty sure if we make it to 69 years, I'll be super elated.
That I'm dead?
No. I said we. It's the royal we. Big W.
Okay.
Royal we. They've been...
Woohoo! After 69 years, I'm finally single
Bitch
again.
is gone! I can go do stuff now! Somebody push me around. They met on a blind date. And they were together for 69 years. And she was a hat model. Whenever you could pull a model out of the club, that's a good job. But I was just sad that she has passed on. And we've talked about this in the past. We're kind of very Irish when it comes to this stuff. We celebrate the person's life, and we try not to be sad about it too much. So, but what I'm really worried about is, Stan's been kind of slowly going away from doing the traveling as much as he has in the past, and
after 69 years, that happens.
Yeah,
one goes, the other goes.
Yeah, and that's why I kind of brought it up. And come on, Stan, you can't leave us yet. So, all kinds of stuff going on. So Marvel Entertainment announced that they're doing a new show on Freeform called New Warriors, and it's got a whole bunch of different people in it. Let me see if the description says. Marvel's New Warriors is about 6 young people with powers living and working together. With powers and abilities on the opposite end of the spectrum of the Avengers, the New Warriors want to make a difference in the world, even if the world isn't ready. Not quite super, not yet heroes, Marvel's New Warriors is about that time in your life when you're first enter adulthood and feel like you can do anything and nothing at once. Except in this world, bad guys can be as terrifying as bad dates. It's on Freeform.
Right.
It's going to be a shit show. And not like a shit show like it's going to be terrible. It might be a great show, but it's going to be that teen angst kind of thing. Which sucks.
I don't know. Go get paid, I guess.
I'm not going to be upset. Well, one of the reasons I want to bring it up is because I am never going to be able to pronounce her name. But the girl from the AT&T commercials, it's actually on there. Melina Voyatorba. The chick from the AT&T commercials. She is actually going to be Squirrel Girl. And if you look at pictures of Squirrel Girl and look at her, they're the same person. She
what
has
does Squirrel Girl mean?
She has powers like
she
a
can
squirrel.
Shove a bunch of nuts in her mouth
and jump really far and fly. It's part of the Marvel universe. It's part of the Marvel universe that I don't know. Okay, we've been over this 1,000 times. We don't know everything in the comic book world, but I think it's awesome that somebody that is known for being a commercial actress is getting jobs.
Yeah,
and that she's in This Is Us, and she's going to be in this, and so that's a kind of a cool thing. But what I really wanted to bring up with all of this is now we have New Warriors, The Gifted on Fox, The Inhumans on ABC, Legion on FX, The Runaways on Hulu, Cloak and Dagger on Freeform, and then all the Defender stuff on Netflix with Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, all of that. Punisher. How many freaking TV shows is Marvel gonna do?
I don't know. We may be reaching max capacity here.
I'm hesitant about Cloak and Dagger and New Warriors because they're gonna kind of go the teen route with that, which is okay. That's okay, but whatever. And Gifted looks interesting, but like I said before, it looks like Heroes.
Yeah.
Inhumans looks really cool, but they're only doing 8 episodes. It's not including Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which I didn't put on the list, and that's on the and that's been around for a while. So it's just I
mean, it is S.H.I.E.L.D.'s last year, right? Didn't they say that?
There's been that rumor.
All right.
So I just, what do you think about all this?
Like I said, I think they may have reached critical mass. They're
all the movie stuff sounds, all the Marvel movie stuff and the DC stuff and all the Sony X-Men universe, all that sounds really interesting. I'm really excited about all that stuff.
I don't know, but it's a lot of like there's got to be other stuff, because besides all the Marvel stuff, you have all the DC stuff, and then the whole Sony stuff. And we're gonna start getting comic book fatigue.
And I don't think there'll be comic book fatigue, but I think what's going to happen is that you're going to stretch so thin that you're going to really start getting stuff that's not well done. It's just there's a comic book thing, and so we have to put all of this money into comic books, and they're just going to rush shit out and not do it right and not spend the time to tell the story the right way, and then it snowballs from there.
Maybe. I mean, I'd like to think that they, at least Marvel, would try to control that and make a quality thing, but you don't know.
And a lot depends on what Marvel, the company of Marvel, actually controls.
Yeah, that's true.
Because like Legion and The Gifted are all X-Men stuff, and all X-Men stuff is owned by Sony.
Yeah.
And I don't blame Sony for trying to tie in to the movie stuff. We talked about it last week. They have 3 titles coming out this next year, and 6 more coming in after that. And so, are they gonna do kind of what the Marvel thing was, where Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Agent Carter were all kind of intermingled with the TV stuff?
I don't know. I think they're too late to the show. I think it's gonna peter out before they can get anything solid going like that.
Yeah, and it's sad because I want good stuff to come out. I want Breaking Bad was amazing, but we were like, they're gonna do Better Call Saul. Better Call Saul is amazing, but they didn't go out and do Pinkman's Revenge and
Jesse's.
They didn't do all these different ones. So at some point in time, somebody has to come in and say, hey, take a breath, let's do good stuff and put it out there. So,
yeah, I don't know.
Superhero fatigue is not currently in place because the weekend box office came up, and some little movie, I don't know if you heard about it, it's called Spider-Man, something about going to homecoming, made $117 million in 3 days.
3 because it came out Thursday night.
Yeah. So we went and saw it on Friday, and we did a review. I'll post it at the end of this video. It's spoiler filled, And
don't watch it if you haven't seen it.
Don't watch it if you haven't seen it. But go see it and then come back and watch it, because we talked about a bunch of things and we didn't even cover everything I wanted to talk about.
And stuff that we didn't, we're not the super comic book nerds, so there was a lot of stuff that we both learned today that we totally missed, and now we have to go see it again.
Nerdist did a really good video of 9 Easter eggs that were in the movie that you didn't know were in the movie.
Yeah.
And they skipped things like the Avengers doing the ATM thing, which is not a spoiler. It was in the trailer.
Right.
That's straight from the comic. But there was a whole bunch of other stuff that they added in, and it's like there was a couple like, who knows this shit? There's like 4 people, and 2 of them were making the movie, And
the other 2 wrote that comic book.
Yeah. It was just like, okay, we're going deep, guys. Yeah. I love going.
What was that?
I love it when you have to really pay attention to all I'm phrasing. I love going deep. All right. Despicable Me made $33 million. However, it had a 53% drop off. About average, whatever. It's made $148 million in 2 weeks. Baby Driver made $13 million. It only dropped 36%. That is amazing for a movie that's not a superhero movie, not attached to another franchise or whatever. It's not a sequel or a spin-off or whatever. And it's made $57 million in 2 weeks.
I think that's that word of mouth thing that people were hoping was going to happen. That people may not have gone to see it opening weekend because they were taking their kids to see Despicable Me, but and waiting, right? Because it's kind of an unknown. People aren't real sure what it's about or whether it's going to be good.
Right.
And now that the word of mouth is out there that it is good, and the kids have seen Despicable Me, now we can go see.
You do a date night or whatever.
Baby Driver.
Yeah. It is 100% worth going to see in the theater. You're not going to lose anything if you wait and see it on DVD either. I'm not saying that, but it's definitely something that you should support because it's a really good movie and it's actually really fun in the theater.
Yeah, all the driving scenes and stuff are,
it's really well done. Wonder Woman will not go away. It made another $10 million, another 37% drop off. It's in week 6. It's made $368 million domestically, not even including worldwide.
Huge.
It's just crazy. I'm so happy for Patty Jenkins and Gal Gadot, who both were, people were like, oh, they can't do it, and she's Israeli and she can't be Wonder Woman and she's not shapely enough, and then you watch her fight and she was in the army and it's like, oh wait, she can do that stuff. And Patty Jenkins, she can act or can direct. It's amazing. And then Transformers Can Die in a Grease Fire, and that was the top 10, and all those numbers that we got were from Box Office Mojo. That's a great website for doing all of the domestic numbers and trying to keep track of what's going on. Kind of like Rotten Tomatoes to the scoring and kind of keep track of the numbers. But we wanted to bring that up because, for me, Spider-Man and Baby Driver, I think, is the stories, and Wonder Woman. Like we said last week, go see Wonder Woman. When you get out of Wonder Woman, go see Baby Driver.
And then go see Spider-Man. Again.
God damn it. Spending all the money. And our yet still not sponsored new segment called the Schmoedown Match of the Week. Dun, dun, dun. We had
Your Name Here.
Your Name Here. We actually need to make a Your Name Here sign. Your Name Here corner, which is from... no.
Oh,
the Grand Tour.
The Grand Tour, sorry.
So we had a championship match between Top 10 and the Patriots last Tuesday. The Patriots won. Schmug assholes. I don't want to talk about it. But last Friday there was a 2-part. It was called Collider Collision, and it was pretty much an epicness. It was 5 hours of stuff over 2 videos, a bunch of matches, a bunch of stuff going on in the background. Factions breaking up and kidnapping of hosts and it was awesome. But there was 4 matches. You had Rotten Tomatoes beating Nerds Watch for the #1 tag team match,
dressed in nun outfits.
Rotten Tomatoes in nun outfits. he looked better as a nun than she did.
Her pink hair kept peeking out from behind her habit, so that kind of spoiled it. But he looked like actually he looks like a woman in a nun outfit. It was
so funny, and it's although better. No, I won't say it's better than the Hawaiian shirts he's been wearing in the last couple of matches. So, although we like Atchity and we like Rotten Tomatoes, but I was really rooting for Nerds Watch.
Yeah.
Hector Navarro defended his belt, his Intergeekdom belt versus Jeremy Johns. They floated away in the garbage, Jeremy Johns.
He was screaming it at the TV.
I know what you happened.
Away.
I know you got confused between Death Star and Star Destroyer. But oh my god, you get that right, they're going to sudden death. And you have a chance. Christian, sorry, it's been on my mind for like 3 days. Christian Harloff won his match versus Jeff Schneider with all kinds of controversy going on. Schneider had 2 reviews and was complaining the whole time. And Harloff, he's one of the Patriots. He's a fucking douchebag. Come on, Patriot fans. We won't get into football. But Christian slow rolled him at the end.
Oh yeah,
with their last question, the soundtrack.
And according to him, he was trying to decide whether he blew it, and purposely did not win because of a lot of flack, I guess, that he's been getting in the comments about people because he's the
commissioner. It's his league. It's his thing.
They think it's rigged, and apparently been given him. And so he was tempted to just answer incorrectly to alleviate that, but then his
competitiveness kicked in, totally kicked in. But that was a really good match, and now Christian is the number 1 contender for the belt. And then, but after that match, they had a 3-way championship belt between Dan Murrell, John Roca, and Mark Riley, who had the belt. They're the only 3 who have only held the belt. Riley's the only 2-time winner of the belt. Murrell has only ever lost to Roca. Roca has only ever lost to Riley. So it was like this loop of doom. But Dan Murrell is a fucking machine.
Yeah, he is. He made it look like they were nobody.
I think he missed 1, maybe 2 questions that entire 3-way match.
Yeah.
And stole some points and got the belt back. And then in the post-match interview, he's standing there holding the belt and talking to Grace, and Sam Levine walks out and says, "I have this right to challenge for any belt at any time, and I'm challenging right now." And Dan Murrell's like, "Fuck it, let's go." And went out there and crushed Sam Levine
and he held his own.
Yeah.
I mean, Sam held his own,
he was in the 20s with the score.
Yeah, he still made him look like he didn't know anything.
I think Murrell missed 1 or maybe 2 in that match. And that it was just so... I actually posted to the Schmoeville, the movie trivia Schmoedown page. There's a Schmoeville page, which is about the guys who Schmoes know. And then there's the movie trivia one, which is the Schmoedown. And I posted the Schmoedown, and I said, does anybody else think that Dan Murrell should start coming out to the T2 theme? The dun 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 dun, because he's a fucking machine. But definitely go if you're into movie trivia like we are. Please go watch the Schmoedown. We will be doing our weekly matches of the week. The match this week that we wanted to talk about the most was the 3-way match.
Yeah. And
it was just so well done. But it's with the Collider Collision, there was just so much stuff that happened in there. You can't just say we're gonna talk about one of the matches in a 5-way freaking event.
Yeah.
So but yeah, it was just awesome. This Sunday is the premiere of season 7 of Game of Thrones.
Dun 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 dun.
So we caught up on season. She's watched all of the seasons. I've had a general idea what's going on, but we're gonna do a review show starting next Sunday, and so we watched season 5, and we're about 3 episodes into season 6, and season 5, we got done with this season, and I turned to her and I says, It was a good season. It was a whole lot of nothing.
Yep. It's all character building for season 6.
Yeah, and I'm really digging the first 3 episodes of the season 6 and getting caught up and doing everything. I still don't know everybody's name, so when we do the reviews, I might have my phone open going, okay, so it's this guy and his name is something. I don't know how to pronounce that. But there's
a lot of characters, so it's hard, and their names are not like Bob.
Yeah.
I mean, there is a Sam,
right.
and Jon Snow, but Daenerys and Cersei and yeah,
and Tyrion, Lannister, Tarkin, Stark Industries, something, I don't know. One of the things I did point out to her was part of the reason why I'm really enjoying it is there's like 5 or 6 main plot lines going on in the show, and they're all interwoven with each other but not connected to each other.
Right, but they're all moving
to the same direction to the thing, but in the grand scheme of things, there's very little crossover between all the different plot lines, and very few shows can do that. And the other thing that we had talked about too with the show, and I will talk about this a lot once we start doing the reviews, is part of the reason why the show is so good is because everybody's committed to the show.
Yeah,
they're 100 to do what they're doing in that show and being as vicious as they have to be and be as liberal with clothes on, clothes off, and their language and the plot. There's fucking dragons in it, and we're being serious. Like it's just part of the thing. You can't do that without everybody being 100% into the show. From the creators, the directors, the prop guys, the actors, everybody, even the extras. So
yep.
I'm really excited. I'm really kind of getting about, as soon as we get this done, as we're editing this episode, we'll be putting it on because we have 4 or 5 days left. In con news, we are D23 is this weekend. We are not going. Our friends at Late to the Party are, so we're expecting them to share with all of us all the coolness that is going on at D23.
Yep.
And so, but San Diego Comic-Con is the weekend after, and there will be all kinds of stuff that goes on at San Diego Comic-Con. I will be doing live reactions.
Couch reviews.
Couch reviews. Pretty much what I learned today was I was listening to Ken Knapsack, who's from Collider and Schmoes, and he does a podcast called Force Center, and it's just a podcast about Star Wars. So of course I'm going to listen. And I went back and listened to their reaction, the review of Star Wars Celebration. And one of the guys said I did my con from the couch because he wasn't able to go. And so it turned into #CouchCon. I'll be stealing that. And but I'll be doing that from Friday, Saturday, Sunday over the weekend. I'm not feeling well. And but there's a whole lot of stuff that's going on. IGN is doing live coverage. Marvel will be doing live coverage. Sci-Fi is doing their nighttime talk show with Zachary Levi. He couldn't do Nerd HQ this year, so he's doing that.
Sad.
Are you looking forward to all the craziness that is?
Yes, but I think back to back with D23 and then Comic-Con, we had kind of Star Wars. We were Star Wars'd out after Celebration, so I think we're gonna be conned out after San Diego Comic-Con. We'll be like, okay, time out.
Even though we're not even going, just trying to keep track of everything that's announced.
Yeah.
And San Diego's its own thing, It's an industry event more than it is a comic book event.
Yeah.
Not that there's not comic book panels. One of the ones I was reading is the Sherlock comic book series that's coming out that Stephen Moffat is helping create, and he's actually going to do a panel about that. That would be a lot of fun. There'll be a lot of me throwing things at Stephen Moffat.
Luckily, from your TV.
Yeah.
From your couch at the TV.
I need a bag of marshmallows so I can throw them at the TV and not break the TV.
And then the dogs will eat them.
Take all of the fun out of what I wanted to do.
I'm just saying.
A little baby trebuchet. But we talked about some of the TV panels last week. this week we kind of got the full rundown of everything. Hall H starts Thursday morning with a 20th Century Fox panel. I'm expecting that to be probably a bunch of movie stuff. There's really no information on that panel yet, so there's really no like this is what's going to happen and stuff.
They might have a Daredevil or a Deadpool 2 something.
Well, yeah. There's no like when I was doing the show notes, I went and looked up a couple of these panels.
Well, yeah.
And that was the one I couldn't find any information on. So
well, that's smart.
It could be anything.
Yeah, smart. They can do whatever they've got ready.
And it's Thursday. It's the first panel Thursday, so it's like come in, throw it on the floor. This is who we are. Everybody can go. Like try to beat that. They're also doing a Brixie Bear. Sure. Teen Wolf is getting a Hall H panel.
Still on.
I don't know. Death Note's getting a panel. And then Thursday is ending with Chris Hardwick. Hartwell's somebody else. Chris Hardwick, and a whole bunch of people. And the Nerdist is just taking over Hall H. And they're just going to do the Nerdist stuff.
So I would think that they would YouTube that, right?
Yeah, I would. That one,
a YouTube channel.
That one, I would totally expect them to do something.
Yeah.
I have so many questions about what they're gonna do, and I'm 99% sure none of it's gonna be serious. So that's gonna be a lot of fun. Any one of those that you're kind of interested in seeing?
Maybe the Nerdist thing. Well, and just I guess I'm interested in what 20th Century Fox is actually going to talk about.
What they're going to talk about.
Yep.
Friday, they are starting on Hall H with The Big Bang Theory, and they're going to do a video presentation. What does that mean? Well, show an episode.
Okay. Spoilers.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I won't say, but the season did end on a cliffhanger.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. So I'll be interested to see what they do there, and they're going to do a Q&A. Usually, don't do Q&As at San Diego Comic-Con, but
yeah.
And then they're doing Fear of the Walking Dead and The Walking Dead back to back, which is kind of cool. They're doing a full-on Game of Thrones panel and a Q&A session. Again, don't do Q&A very often. Twin Peaks. Gonna be weird. Preacher is doing a panel in Hall H, and then the Defenders are closing out Friday. Anyone in there that you're more excited about than others? This was the day we talked about yesterday or last week, where we're just staying at Hall H.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to stay all day. I mean, it's easier for me to say the ones that I'm not, and that would probably be Twin Peaks. I guess I would probably duck out for some
food
dinner.
Or
yeah, Twin Peaks, because while I liked the original one, I have heard that the new one is even stranger. And
is that possible?
I don't know, but I just you burned me already. So
yeah,
I didn't get closure on the last one. I'm not becoming emotionally invested.
The big day this year in Hall H is going to be on Saturday. So Warner Brothers is doing a big panel, and they're bringing a bunch of their movies for that one panel. They're not just going to do a DCEU panel. They're going to do a Warner Brothers umbrella one. So they're bringing the Justice League cast. They're bringing Steven Spielberg's Ready Player One, based off the book Ready Player One, and the cast. They're bringing Blade Runner 2049, including Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford doesn't do cons, so that's a big deal.
Yeah.
And so that's a big thing. Entertainment Weekly is doing a panel called Women Who Kick Ass, Icon Edition, with Charlize Theron. And Warner Brothers is the parent company that's putting out Atomic Blonde, so I'm pretty sure that's all going to kind of blend together between those two panels.
That makes sense.
Stranger Things is getting a Hall H. Middle of the day on Saturday. Welcome to the big leagues, kids. You're going to run the world. It's all right. Westworld is doing a panel and a Q&A. And then Saturday night, Marvel is going to blow the top off the building.
Yep.
They're doing a 90-minute panel.
Yep.
And there's exactly zero information other than it's a 90-minute panel.
See, so Fox not saying anything is...
Yeah.
Is Marvel's doing the same thing.
Yep. I put on here, we'll probably get Thor Ragnarok, and we'll probably get Black Panther stuff. That just makes sense. Thor Ragnarok's out in November, Black Panther's out in the spring, so it would make sense. Wouldn't be surprised if they didn't do something for Infinity War. I secretly want the entire cast of Infinity War on the stage at the same time.
I think the stage might burst under the weight of all those people,
or the egos of all the stars in the room. But there's nothing really except for one possible rumor. This is starting of the 10th anniversary of the start of the MCU. So they might do something as here's the start of the celebration of the 10th anniversary for us.
Okay.
Like I said, it's one kind of random...
I mean, I think that it's probably going to be Infinity War. We've seen maybe a longer Ragnarok trailer or a longer Black Panther trailer, but I mean, they're not going to want to show too much. They've already done a trailer for each.
Yeah.
So
they might show footage of Infinity War because they did that last year for Guardians in Hall H, but we, those of us at home not able to go didn't get to see it, but those in the hall get to see it and stuff, and they could share some of that.
Yeah, it just seems like, I mean, if you're going to make if you're saving for Comic-Con, to San Diego Comic-Con, to make some big announcement or to do something that nobody's seen before, Ragnarok and Black Panther we've seen.
Right.
So
Infinity War, or it's Phase 4.
Yeah, or they could actually announce.
They walk out there, Kevin Feige's like, it was Black Panther look amazing, and here's the cast, and here's Ragnarok, and it looks amazing, and here's the cast, and okay, we have one more thing, and they show this graphic like they've done in the past, and it's this timeline with all the movies that are coming out. That would be kind of cool if they did that kind of thing. This is all complete speculation, fan theory, dreaming.
Right.
And then on Sunday in Hall H, Supernatural will take over. The Last Ship from TNT is going to be doing a panel and a sneak peek for season 4. I'm really happy that the show is on their 4th season because Adam Baldwin is on the show, and always a tender heart place in our hearts for the Firefly cast whenever they get jobs. And
yeah, but I mean, if he would get canned, then they'd all be available.
Well, Morena is still on Gotham.
Is she?
Well, kinda. She had a baby. So, with Gordon, it's going to be the most beautiful baby on the planet. Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency is getting a whole panel in Hall H on Sunday, which I think is kind of cool. They were kind of last year, there was a lot of coverage for them, but it was a lot of, this is what the show's about, and they were... Yeah,
because the show hadn't come out yet, so nobody really...
the entire cast was there, and they were everywhere, and they were having a blast, and they were a lot of fun. And then to close out is the Doctor Who panel. And
with Stephen Moffat.
And then there will be throwing of marshmallows at the screen.
They better televise that
I'm gonna be so worn out by the time we get to Sunday, doing freaking trailer reactions, and you might have to come in and sub in. Tag me in. Ballroom 20 is the other big room. We talked about this last week. There's a gazillion things going on there. A lot of the TV shows and the CW stuff and all that's in there. But a couple things that I noticed that aren't going to be at San Diego Comic-Con. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. aren't going to be there.
Right.
They're usually a lot of fun to watch outside of all the things.
Yeah.
Gotham's not going to be there.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And so that I find that
and no Star Wars, which we knew.
No Star Wars will, and they're going to do very little at D23 too.
Right. Although, speaking of that, several people, Christian Harloff's one of them, are we know for an absolute fact they are not going to show Han Solo, which we don't know that for an absolute fact.
Right.
At D23. I think they are. TMZ leaked
set photos
and a video.
Oh, I didn't see the video. I saw the set photos.
And the video is it's kind of the set, it's I think they might have grabbed the stills from the video. It apparently happened before Lord and Miller were
removed,
let go, whatever.
Get the fuck out.
But yeah, so if that kind of stuff's starting to leak, I think they've got to do. To do something. It's
Disney, and it's Star Wars. If it got leaked on purpose.
Maybe. So I think they're going to do something Han Solo at D23.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. So we are in this rush of stuff that's coming over the next 2 weekends. I really wish Disney would move freaking D23 to like September.
Yeah.
I know why they're doing it, but I just come on. Although it probably makes their life easier, they can just bring everybody in and have everybody there for D23, have them hang out in LA and take meetings or whatever for the week, and then ship them down to San Diego, and then everybody can go back off to whatever.
Maybe.
I still wish they would move it. But that's all the stuff that we kind of thought was interesting. What do you guys think? Are you ready for San Diego Comic-Con? Are you secretly wishing somebody would pay you to go cover it?
Yes.
And all the other stuff that's going on with the Schmoedown and all the movie stuff that's going to be coming out. We're super excited about everything. So tell us what you think. Like this video. Leave us a comment. Tell us what you think is something that you're excited about. Because if you're talking to us, we can maybe tailor our conversation more in your direction. You can get a hold of us. Well, maybe. Unless you want to talk about something stupid. But
anyway,
there's no stupid questions. There's only stupid people. You could also get a hold of us on Facebook at the Pop Culture Cult or Pop Culture Cult 1 on Instagram. I swear we'll start posting more. And we are at Pop_Cult 1 on Twitter. Please like, subscribe to all of our channels. Please share this video and all of our videos, our reviews, our trailer reviews, movie reviews, all that stuff to all of your friends. And until next time, say goodnight, John Boy.
Good night, John Boy.